right. All right. So I know that there's still some of you that are strolling in to this classroom. People are logging in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. So obviously, this is not the way that I envisioned by 181 this summer, but we are going to make do with what was handed to us. So what I want to cover today is just basically give you a little bit of info and background info about myself, and then go into what is going to be expected of you for this class for 6 weeks. So with that, I have put together a PowerPoint about myself, which I'm going to share the screen. Second. Tell you a little about me, then we'll move into the 181 class. Alrighty. So, obviously from the schedule when you registered, my name is Dr. Rashad Arakat. You can call me Dr. Arakat or Dr. E, but please don't forget the doctor. As you're going to see, I went through a lot of work to get that title. Some of you are probably sitting here pre-med, pre-PA, pre-pharm, whatever, and you will have a title in the future. So, you know, it's going to be really, really important. So, give you a little bit of background about myself. I was born in Jerusalem. My dad was overseas at the time. Fell in love with, met my mom, married her. And they came back with me when I was 8 months old. So first went to San Francisco. My dad was a aerospace engineer. He worked for Lockheed Martin. He was a defense contractor. So he worked on the F-14, F-15, F-16, designing basically the fuel gauge systems for those. Also worked on the space shuttles, the original Enterprise, Space Shuttle Enterprise, Columbia, Discovery, and the Challenger. So basically this stuff right here, I lived in San Francisco from 76, 78. I don't remember any of that. I lived in Dallas, Texas from 78, 79, and then moved to Vermont in 79. Why are we moving around so much? My dad was a defense contractor. He went wherever the government wanted him to go. So again, that's my early life, which I don't remember a lot about, but I do have pictures. So there's me as a baby in Jerusalem, right? All fun. That's me and my mom. That's me in Vermont on top of Stowe Mountain. So this is summertime, but I used to ski there. And this is me, mom, dad, and my number 2 brother. And this was taken in Texas. I don't remember this. So basically, I grew up in Vermont, and then end of my 8th grade year, my dad accepted a position with the Navy. So we moved to southern New Jersey because of the fact that the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard was located in, again, Philadelphia. So he went from Air Force to Navy and actually worked on the autonomous systems for the battleships. So way before we had semi-autonomous cars, we had semi-autonomous battleships. In the event that anything happened to all the crew, the ship would take over, lock itself out if any enemies took over, so on and so forth. Again, he could tell us all this when it became declassified. That's how we know about it. So it's pretty cool, especially when you grew up I grew up as an 80s kid, so watching Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that cool techie stuff. You get to have a dad that brings home pictures and brings home, you know, stuff. For example, he brought home the heat resistant tiles from these space shuttles for us, and he actually put it in the oven and cooked it for 2 hours at 600 degrees, then opened up the oven, reached in there and took the tile out, and it was still room temperature. So it's pretty awesome to see that as a 9, 10-year-old kid. So I knew then that science was going to be part of my life. So basically, I graduated high school in Southern New Jersey, Cherokee High School, and I was accepted to Rutgers University. I earned my bachelor's degree in molecular biology, which is basically the fun stuff we're going to be talking about throughout the semester: DNA, RNA, and proteins, how we become us, and how organisms become them, basically, by the process known as gene expression. And I love that so much. Basically, I wanted to continue my studies. So around 8th grade, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. So in my junior year, I applied to medical school and didn't get in the first time. So then I was invited to earn my master's, do graduate work with an amazing professor, Joseph Martin, who said, you know what, do some graduate work, you'll boost your GPA up. I already had a 3.7, so I don't know what they were looking for. But again, I didn't have any family members that were physicians, so I was the first generation in my family to go to medical school in the United States. So basically I earned my master's degree in 1 year. So I actually started my senior year, I started doing the graduate work and the research, and graduated with 4.0 with graduate work, applied to medical school next year, got 8 interviews. So that was pretty awesome, as opposed to the year prior where I was getting rejection letters. So if at first you don't succeed, right? Yeah, cliche, whatever. Don't give up. So basically, earned my master's degree, got accepted into medical school, chose Temple University School of Medicine as the school to get my medical education. So you can see here, this in brown, these are our school colors. Cherokee, this is my high school graduation. This is my college graduation. This is my best friend, my mentor, my advisor, my confidant, my mom right here. And then this is me and my best friend scuba diving in Belize, well, off the coast of Belize, in the second largest barrier reef in the world. If anybody's interested in any of that, it's pretty awesome. So then I graduated Temple University and IUHS School of Medicine, both of them. Long story, but anyway, got the degree. Then I went and did my residency in emergency medicine in Jerusalem, Israel. So I wanted to go back to where I was born, go back to, try to get, grab onto my roots, so on and so forth, and earned my title as attending physician after a 3-year residency program in emergency medicine. I got invited to stay at the hospital where I'll do my residency and to become an attending, which was awesome because I knew all the staff and all the colleagues and everything. So there's nothing to relearn in there, except now, it was different. It was a lot cooler when you're an attending than when you are a resident. So then you get to torture the residents and the medical students underneath you, same way you were. So basically, I did that, practiced for 7 years. Then, in my 7th year, I started applying for Doctors Without Borders. So I figured I was so lucky, so blessed to get the education, to get the status that I had, so on and so forth. I tried applying for Doctors Without Borders. Did not know how competitive it is to get into that. So basically, Doctors Without Borders, when they told me, oh, we have a lot of people applying and we just don't have enough space. Here, we'll give you the same, NGO. It's called Médecins du Monde, Doctors of the World, who does the same type of humanitarian work. Sent my application for them and was hired. And I did 1 year between the years 2011, 2012 in the Middle East. So basically, that was about the time where if you read up on history, for some of you that are very young, it was the Arab Spring. There's a lot of instability in the region, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of refugees. We set up makeshift emergency rooms and we're treating wounded, so on and so forth. I did that for 1 year and then decided after that 1 year, enough is enough, time to get back to the United States. And in that time, though, when I was practicing, so I left out a little bit. In that time when I started becoming an attendant, I started basically getting invited to different medical schools to give different lectures. And I realized, wow, this is so awesome. I love this. Standing in front of a group of people, 150 people, and talking about what I know. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So I started teaching and giving, first of all, it started off as being a guest lecturer, turned into a basically full-time position at the same time that I was practicing. So I was also a professor in the medical schools in Jerusalem and multiple schools throughout Israel, basically as a guest lecturer, so on and so forth. So I have a great passion for teaching, not only practicing medicine. Long story short, after the 9 years basically of practicing medicine, I said, that's enough. I want to focus on basically academia. And I made transition, got back here to the United States and came to Phoenix, where my family already was. And before I left Jerusalem, I secured a job at Maricopa County Colleges. So if you guys know Paradise Valley Community College, that's where I was hired on. And I have been teaching ever since, made my way to Grand Canyon University, where I've been there for 5 years, and finally to ASU, where I've been for 2 years. So that is my background. In the time of me going to school and working, and I did manage to have 2 amazing kids. My oldest son, which is my son, who's 17 now, who will be going to ASU, yeah, right, starting next year. And my daughter, Athena, who's only 9 years old and wants to be an astronaut. So, hey, that's pretty cool. So that is my background. That is me in a nutshell. And again, if you have questions about whatever I went through to get to where I am today, feel free to ask. I love sharing stories. I love guiding future, medical personnel into their fields that they endeavor or choose to go into. So please feel free to ask me any questions related to that. So that is me. So what I want to talk about now, we have, 18 of you, so we're missing 10. So we have 18 of you here today. So you should have seen some of the announcements that I put up, and I am a big announcements person. I love making sure that, first of all, there's always going to be a good line of communication between myself and you, the students. You're going to learn, especially in emergency medicine, communication is key. If you drop the ball on communication, people will die. So it's very important that we teach you early on how important it is to communicate, basically making sure that your Canvas is linked directly to your email so that if any changes do occur on Canvas, you get those immediately. So make sure that if you don't have those settings for linking your email to Canvas, that you do so immediately, because you're going to see that everything that we're doing for the next 6 weeks is going to be on Canvas. All right, speaking of Canvas, let us go to our Canvas page. So this is the lecture page when you open it up. So you can see all the links here that I've made visible to you. Finally, I was able to get the assignments and the modules completed for you and uploaded, so you know exactly what you're going to be responsible for in the 6 weeks. So there's no hidden material. There's not going to be any surprises or anything like that. I am not that type of instructor. You do have to realize that this course is going to be intense. It is a general biology course. I've been teaching this course for 10 years. I thoroughly enjoy it. General Biology 1 and General Biology 2 courses, because they are the foundation for all the biological sciences that I earned my degrees in. So if you're taking this class as, oh, okay, I'm trying to get credit for science, or I'm trying to get knock it out of the way. It's a summer, it's 6 weeks, it's going to be a breeze. No, it's not going to happen that way. Okay. You have to be aware of the fact that you're going to have to put in about 6 hours a day for the next 6 weeks to keep up with all the material and to do well in the class. So again, very, very, very important to be aware of what you are dealing with in terms of signing up for this summer course. Again, because it isn't an online formality, a lot of it is going to be OIO. OIO on your own. So OIO, that's going to be basically, you're going to have to set your schedules and ensure that you're completing the virtual labs on time, completing the assignments on time, the McGraw-Hill, for example, going through and ensuring that basically you check off all the points basically for the assignment that you're going to be responsible for in the 6 weeks. 6 weeks is not a lot of time, okay? And some days it's going to feel like you're being overwhelmed. It is a very overwhelming class. Even in a normal semester, Bio 101 is overwhelming. Again, this course is a requirement to get into medical school. So again, we are, being that I went to medical school and I did sit on the admissions committee in my second year of medical school, I do know what is needed to produce great doctors, great physicians, so on and so forth. So with that being said, what I want to do is basically go over the syllabus with you after we go through and navigate through some of the tabs that I want you to familiarize yourself with, okay? So basically, first and foremost, everybody should have a copy of the syllabus. When you click on the syllabus link, you're gonna see a syllabus, you can download it. Caveat that I always tell students, everything in the syllabus in terms of assignments, due dates, so on and so forth, are subject to change at my discretion, the instructor's discretion. So, and that is in black and white, and this syllabus has been sent to administration. They've reviewed it. So again, even though we may have stuff in there, they are likely to change, especially with the fact that we are in an online modality and the fact that we have a lot of material to cover and we're not in person. So again, be aware of that. So that's the syllabus. Announcements, obviously, you should be able to click on the announcement, and obviously a lot of you are here, so you saw the announcement I posted yesterday. Again, make sure that you link your emails to Canvas. Very, very, very important. The assignments. This is what everybody's going to be looking at, and everybody's going to be worried about. This is what you're going to be responsible for this summer session, okay? It is 6 weeks. So all the assignments have been uploaded for you for all the chapters. We also have exam reviews already set up for you. Again, and then something that I did not put into the syllabus, which I will go back and make a note of, we are going to have discussion questions, weekly discussion questions that will be due basically every week. And they're worth 5 points, where I post a question, you interact with your classmates, again, virtually, we are virtual, and then I will give my opinion or explain whatever needs to explain. And again, to help to hopefully clarify any information that you do not see when I post the video. So remember, even though we're meeting today on the first day of class, right around the time we would have been in person on campus, the semester is going to be asynchronous. So the only time that you will see me at designated times will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11, where I will be holding office hours for you, okay? So that means I will just open up the room, you come in, and you can talk about whatever. If you don't have a question about assignments and you want to talk about something else, so on and so forth, that's what the hour is for. It's for you to catch up, whatever it is, interact with your classmates, ask questions, have something clarified, anything like that. So that's where we're going to have synchronous meetings, and those are the office hours. So I think it's very, very, very important for students to have the interaction with the instructor. I know it was very important for me when I was an graduate in medical school. So that's why I try to make myself available. You would have had that if you're on campus, my office hours. I would have had multiple office hours in a summer session because we were a condensed course. But the fact that we're online, you can put 2 during the week. But if there is anyone that needs and cannot make those meetings because of, for example, work or prior obligations, so on and so forth, I can schedule outside if you send me an email. Again, communication. Ask, hey, Dr. E, I need to meet with you, but I can't do this on the day because such and such. All right, fine. We can figure out when to meet. My schedule is pretty open due to the whole social distancing thing, right? So anyway, these are the assignments, so everybody can see all the chapters are uploaded and ready. So you have a lot of work to do in 6 weeks. We're going to be covering almost about 3 to 4 chapters a week. So you can imagine we're just going to be flying through the material. Again, they will be videos. They will be uploaded. And you can watch those videos. I will let you know when, hey, you know, I just posted chapter 1 video. I just posted chapter 2 video. I just posted chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, so on and so forth. So you'll know in the announcements. Again, going to have a lot of announcements in this 6 weeks. So make sure that you link your email to. All right. Next, we have the modules. So the modules basically, they're set up. So if you saw my name, Ericat, on the schedule, and that caused some confusion, but then you saw Cunningham, Anna Cunningham. So Anna Cunningham is my colleague. She actually built the Canvas courses for me. I told her what I wanted, and that's why her name had to be on there, because basically Canvas could give her access, so on and so forth. So it's some crazy thing. Anyway, I did have some emails that, oh, do I talk to the other professor? I'm your instructor. I'm your professor. Any questions, you email me. I'm in charge of the course, okay? She just built the course for you, which again, greatly appreciated. She did an amazing job, very well organized. So you can see we have the introductory materials. Then basically goes week by week. So you'll know exactly what we're gonna be covering for the week. You'll know exactly what assignments you have to do for that week. So for example, if I'm going to be posting lectures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays for you, okay, you should have the chapters completed on that day that the videos are uploaded. So I upload chapter 1. I'm going to upload that tomorrow for you. Basically, your job tomorrow for about 6 hours minimum, okay, is to listen to my lecture, follow through with the PowerPoint, take notes. Then the notes that you take from my PowerPoints, rewrite those notes in a way that you know and understand them, in a way that you could explain it to another person. This is a trick I learned when I was a sophomore in college, people. It is amazing. Even in medical school, when they gave us, on the first day, they gave us all of our notes printed out in huge binders that were about this thick. I'm talking like government binders, right? And basically, I took every single one of those pages and rewrote those notes into my own words. So I have an entire set of notes for each of those classes throughout the semester. I still have my material from medical school. It's 2 moving boxes full of material that I wrote. I will never throw that out because I got to show my son, this is what I did, all right? So, you know, when they complain about doing homework and so on and so forth, yeah, you're not really doing anything, okay? So again, that is the students always ask me, Dr. E, what can I do? What can I do? So the last 6 years on the first day, I just tell them, hey, you know what? Rewrite your notes in a way that you can understand it and that you could explain it to somebody else that has no background in science whatsoever, and tell it like a story. Because what you're going to see in science, especially in biology, it's not just memorization. You're going to learn that it is very, very, very conceptual. And you're going to see that a lot of the material and the concepts and the topics that we cover are conceptual, which means that you have to have an understanding. You cannot just memorize it and look at it face value. If you try to do that, you will not do well on the exam. I'm going to talk about the exams when we go over the syllabus. So basically, again, keep up with the material. Do not slack off. Do not wait for last minute to study for exams. That's a big, big no-no. Even in in-person classes, I could tell the students who wait till the night before to study for an exam. They got destroyed on my exams. Literally, you will be destroyed if you wait for the last minute to try to prep for this material. Because you're going to see that the exams are written in such a way that's going to, again, test your understanding of material, and then your ability to analyze, and then your ability to apply concepts. It's not just, do you know it? Can you memorize it? Basically, I use Bloom's taxonomy of questions to write my exams. And some of you have heard of Bloom's taxonomy. Level 1, can you memorize? Level 2, do you understand it? Level 3, can you analyze it? And finally, level 4 question, that's about the highest I go in the 181 and 182 courses, is can you apply what you've learned? So then, for example, I would give an example of a laboratory technician trying to do an experiment with, for example, a certain species that has a certain protein in it. And do you understand, can you apply your knowledge of, wait, what is the function of this protein and which organelle is synthesizing this protein in order for us to get the results that, for example, that we are going to inhibit the functioning of that protein in an organism. Okay, so basically I just took biology, I took cell biology, I took microbiology, and I took pharmacology, and I put it into one question for you to teach you. So that's going to be a level 4 question. Level 4 questions make up about 5% of my exams. Okay, you're going to see level 2, level 3, mostly level 2 questions. Basically, that's going to be about 80% of my exam. Memorization, you'll get maybe 2%. And then level 3, and again, 5% level 4, and then the remaining level 3. Memorization question, if you just memorize the PowerPoint, I can tell you right now, you get a 10% on the exam. Yep, memorize the PowerPoints, you get a 10%. Everybody's like, what? Yeah, if you memorize all the PowerPoints, for example, this week, chapters 1, 2, and 3 for the exam next week, if you just memorize the PowerPoints and you don't understand what's going on, the highest grade you're going to be able to earn is a 10%. Because you need to be able to understand, and you need to open up your mind to a new way of thinking. And that's what we call critical thinking. And that's why it's this biology and biological courses are all critical thinking courses. So again, I don't know how many of you are pre-med. I'm assuming a lot. For example, to be able to take this course, which is rigorous, as it is in a regular semester, to take it in the summer, you're prepping yourself for medical school by taking a general biology 101 course in the summer. Again, I've taught it in the summer for the last 7 years at multiple institutions in the Valley. So again, it is very, very rigorous. I start off with an entire full class, maximum of 24 students in the summer, and the students that would make it to the final exam would be about 10. And again, that's not to scare anyone or to try to, again, put anyone down. It's to show you that this is the level of preparation that you're going to need for a course like this. And I'm just being honest and straightforward with you. I do not sugarcoat anything. You can imagine emergency medicine, there is no sugarcoating. Okay? You have to tell a family their loved one died. I go out, again, there's compassion, but there's no way around it. sorry, did everything I could. We just couldn't save them. All right, bam. That's what I'm gonna tell you here. There's a lot of material that we're gonna cover. You either put the effort in or you don't. And if you don't, you're gonna suffer the consequences for that and seeing in your grade. And that's it. That's all. That's what it's about. So again, and you'll be seeing that throughout when I talk during my lectures and my videos. You'll be seeing. I'm going to bring in a lot of real world examples for you, especially medical examples. That's my specialty. So I'm going to tie the 181 course and try to bring it around and show you from the medical point of view what I've seen in my experience and my practice and in science. Basically, post high school, the last 27 years. Okay, yeah, 27 years. That's a long time. But anyway, again, that's what I want you to be aware of. That's what I want you to know right now, that again, being aware, being and accepting your responsibility, and knowing what goes into this course, knowing what you're required to do to be successful in this course. Because I don't think anyone sits in here on the first day of class and says, oh, I'm just going to get a C. Everybody's sitting here, you want to be successful. Okay, so it's very, very important. Form virtual study groups. Okay, do not attempt to take this course or to do the material, study the homework, whatever it is, on your own. It will drive you crazy. You're gonna want to pull your hair out by the end of the first day. Okay, form study groups via Skype, whatever it is. Social distancing, again, I mean, we opened up stuff again. So coffee shops are open. Go to Starbucks, go to whatever, however they're doing the seating, right? But you guys can sit and chat with one another, okay? Go over the material, form a friend, make a friend. I know that some of you are not in the Valley. I do have some students taking the course from several different other universities. Again, welcome to you. Again, but connect virtually, just like we are right now. Here I am in my house, right? I'm talking to you from my house. So again, we can do this. All right, so enough about that. I want to get into basically just a brief discussion of the syllabus. So syllabus, all right, everybody's seen it, you've looked at it, okay, there's my information, Zoom meeting, the room that we're in, obviously, my email right there, accessible. Again, send me emails. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Basically, they say for online 24-hour turnaround. If I'm not doing anything, I will just reply right away. Okay. So just go through. You can see our format. I'm not going to go through any of that, but here we go. Basically, you can see your expectations, the final exam date, which I will talk about. Course descriptions right here. I'm not going to read through that. And then the goals. So we are going to touch on the foundation of biology for you, give you a introduction, but then also, hopefully by the end of the 6 weeks, you'll have a strong foundation. So when you go to your other upper level courses, whether it be cell biology, molecular biology, molecular cell biology, cellular biochemistry, general biochemistry, whatever it is, that the topics that you see in those courses, you've already heard of them and you have a basic understanding. And then when you go into upper level, what happens is you get more detail. So if you have general biology in high school, obviously a lot of the concepts that you're going to hear are going to be familiar. However, what changes is the way that we are approaching it at the college level, okay? And that is going to be in more detail. So you're going to be you're going to have a basic understanding and a requirement to look deeper into topics that were discussed when you were in high school. All right, our textbook materials, again, Anna did a great job of setting up everything. A lot of you should know already how to access the textbook. We basically linked McGraw-Hill to your Canvas. You sign up, register, you have access to all LearnSmart Lab, LearnSmart Prep, the homework assignment, so on and so forth, okay? This just gives you an explanation how to go through it, how to sign up, which everybody should have no problem with if you just follow the step-by-step instructions. I went through them, very, very, very easy. If you're like me and you want a loose leaf textbook, again, I still am old school, even with all this amazing technology. Again, in terms of prepping for the boards, I just retook my board certification to maintain my license here in the United States for emergency medicine in Arizona. And basically, I just bought a book, went through it, highlighting, writing my notes out, so on and so forth. So I need the book in my hand and be able to sit on the couch and do highlighting and writing notes, so on and so forth. But those of you that are like, love the electronic stuff, by all means, you have the electronic access, obviously, through the course. All right. So everything on the bottom, please adjust your notification settings so you're alerted to Canvas messages, right? I already said that like 8 times, so it's like beating a dead horse, but there we go. I just want to remind everyone how important it is that we stay in communication. All right, assessment. Basically, we are going to have exams. The exams are the big assessments, obviously. Those are going to be a big percentage of your course. And you can see basically the lecture grade is going to be 65%. So you have 3 exams at 100 points and then a final exam, which is worth 200 points. So that's right there, 500 points out of your lecture grade. Okay, that means you need to be prepped, ready, using the review material that's been posted. Everything is there for you, ladies and gentlemen. I can only do so much. I am going to explain concepts to you, try to teach you the concepts, but the ball is going to be in your court on what you can and can't do. Okay, you can see the homework, the Connect homework, Connect exam reviews, and then we have the labs, okay, which are going to be the virtual labs, which have not been uploaded yet, but you need to know as soon as I upload them, they will be due. You will need to set aside an hour and a half to complete those virtual labs. It takes you through step by step, and you have to complete it by the due date. So I had a lot of students after we transitioned to the online modality after spring break, where everything was set on due to be due on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. I had students that would start doing a lab at like 11:15 and then complain to me that they got through like 60% of it and then got kicked off. Well, the labs require a lot of time, people. You don't do it at the last hour before it is due. I mean, that's just slacking off, okay? There's no way around that, okay? Yeah, don't do that, okay? When the labs are assigned, take a look at them, go through, and you can go through them multiple times until you get the highest score you want to achieve. So if you go through it the first time and you make some mistakes when you're answering the question, it's virtual, it's like an AI format. They're really awesome labs. If you answer a question and it marks you wrong and you go through the lab, okay, go through the lab again and until you get the grade you want. So you get a perfect score. And then that grade will go towards your lab and you could get a perfect score in the laboratory portion of the course, okay? The exams are going to be basically 50 multiple choice questions. They're all MCQs. I'm not going to put any true and false for the online. So do not worry about true and false. I'm going to remove that right there. Okay. So can everybody, yeah, everybody's seeing. So basically it's just going to be 50 MCQs. Basically just like the board exams are these days, or the standardized exams that you have to take, whether it's a nursing NCLEX, whether it's a PharmD, for pharmacy, whether it's the United States Medical Licensing Exam, whether it's the MCAT. Basically, you have the questions in blocks, and they're all MCQs. 50 questions, 50 minutes, a minute a question. We're prepping you for standardized exams that you're going to be taking in the future. okay? In terms of the final exam is going to be 100 questions, okay? It'll be comprehensive and cumulative. That means it'll cover chapters 1 through 18, okay? And that'll be on the last week of class, the last day of our scheduled class meeting. So for exams, and I did not put this in there, but I want everybody to write this down. For exams, I know that all of you have smartphones, okay? So nobody can tell me they don't have an Apple or an Android phone. And I know that all the phones have cameras on them. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using Lockdown Browser, where you're locked in to the exam, but then you're gonna set your phone up, okay? And you're gonna have the camera on, and I'm gonna be viewing you while you're taking the exam. And that's going to ensure that there is no academic misconduct. So this has been discussed with administration, and they said that that is okay to do. So everyone should be ready to take the exam via Lockdown Browser and to have your phone camera turned on and placed in such a way, maybe a stack of books behind it or whatever, where I can see you, and the only thing you should be doing is typing on your computer and looking at your computer screen. There should be no looking here, books, or scrolling through, trying to find answers, so on and so forth, okay? Again, it's just something that we have to do with the way that the cards have been dealt in our life, okay? So again, don't worry about your ID or Scantron or anything like that. That was from last semester, okay? The learning assignments, the reading you can see, the homework you can go through. Again, really, really important that you go through this. And again, take your time with the material. Take your time reading it. Now, the textbook, here's the thing a lot of students don't know, and I'm gonna let you know a little secret. The textbook is a reference manual, okay? I'm gonna give you the information via the PowerPoint. The textbook reading assignments, we are focusing on what we want you to know. So it's gonna be broken up into sections. You don't need to sit and read the entire chapter at one time. First of all, that's not gonna help you because you're gonna be stressed out and you're gonna be reading, you're gonna be staying in the same place at one time. You don't do that, okay? But what you do is you read it in sections, and then while you're reading it, you take notes. You have to take notes while you're reading. For example, if Dr. E says something on the PowerPoint and you didn't understand it, and you write a question mark next to it, and you'll be like, okay, I don't understand this. I'm gonna go and look for it in the book. So when I read a section, oh, there it is in the book. I'll write it out. That's what he meant when he said that. If you still don't understand what Dr. E was talking about, you talk to your classmates, okay? Then if you still don't understand, you get access to the tutors. Again, they're virtual, they're online. They have not stopped that, okay? They made transition just like we did last semester. Finally, if you've gone through all of those steps and you still don't understand what I was trying to get at, the point that I was trying to make, you ask me. And then you see you've gone through all that to learn and it's still not clarified, then you ask me and I'm going to clarify it for you. Again, very important that you keep up with the material. I cannot emphasize this enough, ladies and gentlemen. It is crucial, especially in a 6-week online course. What you do with this course is completely up to you. It is in your hands. I've done everything. I had the course built the way that's going to have all the material up for you. All the materials are on the first day for you. Here we are, day 1, Monday, May 18th. It's all there for you, okay? What you do with that material, okay? How you're going to assimilate that material is completely and totally up to you, okay? So keep that in mind. Keep in mind, just like you have a work schedule, you're gonna have a class schedule. Set aside these 6 to 7 hours a day. that you're going to need. Again, it doesn't mean take the 6 or 7 hours and do it all at one time. Nobody can do that. I never did that. Okay, I need to take a break. I need to go work out. The gym's open today. So as soon as I finish lecture, I'm going back to the gym because I haven't been in the gym. I gained like 5 pounds, which is not bad over being quarantined. But again, you take a break, you go and work out, you come back. That's what I did in medical school. I was working out. I was going out with friends. I was still doing everything. Again, not as much, but I still had to do that. If you sat and you studied at one place at a desk for like 6 or 7 hours, you're not going to retain anything. I studied the brain. Okay, it doesn't work like that. Okay, the brain needs to be exercised. It needs to take breaks. It needs to have fun. I studied with music on. I don't know about you guys. I used to get to the beat of a song, whatever, and go and take the exam, and the beat would be in my head. And I'd be like, okay, bam, this is what, the verse, the lyric of this song matched to the concept in my notes. Bam, ace the exam. Okay, whatever techniques, strategies, whatever you have to use, incorporate it now. Incorporate it starting today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So if you have, let's say you wake up at 7, okay, and you plan to go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Okay. Make sure that in those hours, okay, so you have those 15 hours that you set aside 6 hours or 7 hours. Okay. Again, split up to go through the material, whether it's going to be a part of a PowerPoint or a section in the textbook. Again, these are all tips and tricks that I use. I am not giving you information that I don't know doesn't work. I know this worked. Okay, I know that got me the 3.7 I earned in college, and then the 4.0 I got in graduate school, and the honors, and also in medical school, and the fact that I got accepted to emergency medicine residency. Okay, I know it works. So when I'm giving you these tips for studying, listen to what I'm saying and listen to the words coming out of my mouth, okay, about it, all right? Because I really know what I'm talking about. All right, so again, in terms of due dates on assignments, look at this, it's bold. No extensions will be granted and no late work will be accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no excuse. We only have 6 weeks. If you cannot focus and give me 6 weeks of your time, you should not be in this class. Okay? You have to take 6 weeks. You got to take 6 hours for 6 weeks of your time and dedicate it to this course. Okay? That's same also for the Connect homework assignment. Also for the labs. Anything that has a due date on there, there will be no late work or extension accepted. Okay? I hope that is clear to everyone. All right. You can see the grade percentage. That's just ASU, how we grade everything. All right. Basically, the rest of the stuff is the boilerplates that we have for the School of Mathematics and Natural Sciences in terms of ASU academic integrity. If while you're taking an exam, I notice or again, see you looking at any material besides your computer screen during that exam, you will fail that exam, and then it will be taken to the university and you can be expelled. I've had that happen one time in Phoenix since I've been teaching. Not only was she kicked out of my class, earned an F, but she was kicked out of school. So she was expelled. So again, it's never worth it to cheat, okay? Especially those of you that are pre-health, pre-med, okay? Because if you cheated during exam and you got through everything, I don't want you working on me. You're saving my life, right? You could kill me. Yeah, no. So, yeah, it's just stupid. There's never any excuse to cheat. I don't care what anybody says, okay? Again, especially in a biological science class, especially with someone like me that, again, very, very high integrity for the course. I have not compromised any of the integrity of the Bio 181 course since moving online, okay? Everything's gonna be done the same way. The only difference is we're virtual, okay? You're gonna get the same material, you're gonna get the same lecture, it's gonna be the same level, okay? So please, please, please be aware of that. That's why I decided to hold this meeting on the first day. If somebody has second thoughts or anything like that, about taking this over summer, now's the time, okay? Again, you may have thought something else about the course. You're not going to be judged if you say, oh, wow, this is more than I expected. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this over the summer. I didn't think it was going to be a course like this over the summer. You know what? You can retake the course in the fall where we're going to be in person, and it's going to be over 16 weeks. Okay? But again, you need to be aware of the type of course that you are in. Code of conduct, so on and so forth, the assessment, attendance policy. Again, there's no attendance policy. Basically, we're virtual. It's not synchronous, it's asynchronous, okay? If there is a catastrophic event in your life where you missed the final, and believe me, as an emergency medicine physician that practiced for 9 years, I've seen catastrophes in people's lives, okay? We can discuss a make-up final exam. Otherwise, vacation, wedding, whatever it is, my parents, this is the best one. My parents set this vacation up for us last year. I didn't know well, then why are you taking the course? Okay, I don't do any favors for any students. If I can't make it available to all students, don't ask me for favors. Because that means I have to, because my goal, and it's just the way I have been my entire life, is I have to maintain consistency for my students. That means if I make an exception for one student, I have to make it for all. So guess what? No exceptions. It's that easy. Okay? That's it. That's the way it's gonna work. So if you have vacations planned or whatever, so on and so forth, work, okay, on the exam dates, because we will be taking the exam at a specific time together, okay? And the exam dates and the times will be set. If you have problems or issues, take it up with the other party, not with me, because I'm not going to make any changes to those. You signed up for this course. Literally, the course would have been from 9 to 11, and then from 11 to 1:30 for the lab, or 1:45, okay? It didn't happen that way. We're virtual. Yes, I made it asynchronous. I decided, I pushed the dean, say, hey, you know what? I know a lot of students are going through a lot of problems right now with the social distancing and losing jobs, so on and so forth. We don't need to have them there at the time. I will just make the videos of the lecture and we can make it asynchronous. And they agreed. So that's why I have my entire summer courses like that. But it doesn't mean that I can't ask for one day in 1 hour of your time, 1 day a week during the 6 weeks, okay? So please be aware of that. Usually, I'm going to have the exams on Thursday, so I know that those are going to be the dates of the exams. They will be every Thursday because that'll be the end of the week. You don't have to worry about the material, because when we get back for next week, we'll be starting new material. So the exams will be on Thursdays. No, sorry, no, that was for, no. The exams will be Mondays. I will have the exam every Monday, so you have the weekend to prep. So you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to prep, because again, we're doing online, so on and so forth. So then we take the exam in the first hour, and then we're done, and then I will post the video of the next chapter or next topic for you, okay? So we will have the exams on Mondays. That'll be easy. Everybody has the exams. I will probably have the exams. I will hold them at 10 a.m. That gives everybody enough time to wake up, prep, breakfast, coffee, workout, whatever it is before the exam, come at 10 a.m. and start the exam. I will post rules for the exam on Canvas, which means that you have to be ready to go in the Zoom meeting a quarter of, so open up the room at 9:30. Everybody should be ready to go at 9:45. We'll wait till everybody's there, do a head count, take some last minute questions, whatever it is, and then everybody will log into the Lockdown browser. So you're gonna log in onto Zoom with your phones, and then you log into Lockdown browser and you start the exam promptly and precisely at 10 a.m. it will go from 10 a.m. to 10:50. You have 1 minute a question for each exam, average. Some of the questions you can answer in 30 seconds, obviously, and you can move on, okay? So, all right. Course instructor evaluation. Towards the end of the semester, a course evaluation will pop up. I hope you will take advantage of that and complete those evaluations. They help me out tremendously. I always take the advice of my former students and implement it into the courses. Positive praise obviously is going to be very welcome, but I also want, if you feel that something could have been done differently, so on and so forth, let me know about it, because I do implement those changes. I do make changes to the course. For example, one student said, well, 5 chapters on the first exam for the summer, or even during the regular semester, there's a lot of material that we have to cover. Can you maybe think about in the future having the exam down to 4 chapters? So talked about it, went through, decided, yeah, you know what, that's actually really good advice. They said they loved the course, but they just felt there's a lot of material to cover in the first. So I took that advice. Again, changing up labs, so on and so forth. Anything like that, again, I am open to that, because my goal is to make this class as enjoyable as possible. I want you to learn. I'm going to be strict. I'm going to be hard on you, because again, there's a lot of material to cover, but we're going to do it in such a way that hopefully everybody will learn. And I'll tell you from the feedback that I've gotten in the last 8 years since I've been back here, I have students that have taken 4 of my classes so far, just to maintain consistency, because they love my courses. I mean, I have students that always write, I wish you could teach all my science classes. I wish I could do that too, but there's just not enough time in a day to do that. So again, take advantage of writing and completing those evaluations. All right. Incomplete, again, basically they will not be awarded unless there's some catastrophic event that occurs in your life. Hopefully you will not have any catastrophic event ever. But if there is one, we need documentation. That'll be sent to the director of the school, who will then turn over to the dean of the students. They will make the decision. I will not. They will say, okay, here's what happened, 1, 2, 3. The final say will be basically me. They'll be like, okay, it's your discretion, you're the instructor, but we do advise that the student get an incomplete and that they can make it up later. Again, I know stuff happens. I know life happens. I've seen it too many times. Nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to die in a car accident today. Okay? Nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to get shot through the orbit, through their eye, right? Nobody says I'm going to get stabbed in the lungs. Okay? Nobody says I'm going to be blown up by shrapnel. Nobody says I'm going to fall off a building. Yeah, I'm giving you examples of everything that I've seen. Okay? Yeah, so I know life happens, but hopefully you'll be healthy and you'll be safe forever, but at least in the 6 weeks that we're together, okay? So again, withdrawal, just look at the ASU dates right there for withdrawal dates, so on and so forth for the material. Again, composure, respectful behavior, okay? Both to me, I will respect you, you respect me. You don't respect me, I will. I'm not going to finish that line, but it ain't going to be pretty, okay? Also, make sure that you respect your classmates, okay? Basically, anything of any disrespectful behavior, I will just kick you out of the room and report it, okay? Again, there's no reason for any of that. You guys are all in a professional environment right now, and it is an academic environment, and you're all here to learn, so there's no reason that anybody's going to do that. I have not had any issues except a couple in the past, okay? The dates, the calendar, again, it's set up better on Canvas for you, but it gives you an idea of what we're going to be covering, and then the dates of the exam, so on and so forth. And again, code of conduct, all of this stuff, Title IX, everything basically for the course. All right, so that is the introduction to Bio 181. Okay, again, I am your instructor, your professor, Dr. Rashad Arakat, again, Dr. Arakat, Dr. E. When you send me an email, please put that, again, title in there. What I want to do now is I will open up the forum to any questions that any of you may have, anything that needs to be clarified, so on and so forth. Again, if you have a question, your fellow classmate may be thinking it, so ask away. Always ask questions. I did not get where I am without asking questions. So I'm going to open up the floor to you guys. Go.
I have a question, Dr. Arakat.
Yeah, go ahead.
The exams, you said it was going to be on Lockdown Browser. So I understand that we're going to be using our laptops for taking the exams.
Yes.
And then we need another device to be set up on Zoom.
Yes.
It's going to be on Zoom. Understood. Okay.
Yep, either a phone or a tablet.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you.
I had a question too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are the exams the only like official mandatory meeting times for when we have to be at class at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, everything else is asynchronous. The Zoom meetings are optional. The Zoom office hours, I mean. But yes, the exams are the only mandatory that I'm going to be asking the students for during the 6 weeks.
And the room is open Tuesday and Thursday, 10 to 11?
10 to 11 for office hours, yes.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Somebody's asking in the chat. Let me see. Is it too late to sign up for the opt-in, opt-out program for the book, or should I just order online? I don't think it's too late. Oh, I don't think it's too late. You can jump in there and make the change right now. Again, this is not a regular semester or regular session. We had to make some changes, obviously, for you. I am going to hold you to a certain extent for everything. However, if stuff comes up, okay, for example, if we have an issue with LearnSmart or the Labster labs online or whatever, if it's an issue that I identify, you will not be penalized for it. Okay, I am not that type of person. Okay. However, if there's an issue where, oh, you couldn't get the lab done in time, yeah, that's entirely your fault.
Dr.
What
Arakat,
else? Yeah.
I have a question. Are the labs already integrated in the course summary?
No, not yet. Those are the last thing that are being built because we're going through a different publisher for labs because we're using basically AI labs. So they're pretty cool. I'm just waiting for the final updates that should be uploaded today.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And I'll set due dates for all those labs. So you're not going to be responsible for any material today. So tomorrow, the first video lecture will be posted. Basically, it'll be each video lecture will probably be a chapter long. So be ready and prepared for the fact that I'm going to be covering an entire chapter, anywhere basically from an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the material. So they will be 2-hour video lectures, okay?
Hey, doctor, you have a question?
Yeah.
The exams in the syllabus, you have the dates in there. Are those like tentative? Because we
yeah, they haven't been set. That's what Anna had put in for me, but I was trying to basically this morning try to figure out. I will have all those dates, and they will be an announcement today for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, I wish I was meeting you in person. The reason I'm teaching is the interaction with the students. But unfortunately, again, this is what happened to us. This is what life is like right now in the COVID-19 world. So again, yeah, I'm sad that we are not actually in the lecture halls and in the labs, but completely out of our control. So I will try to interact with you as much as possible, best of my ability over the virtual world. But again, the important thing is to stay in contact if you need me for anything, questions, and then get in contact with your classmates ASAP. Like today, after we finish this, jump on there. Everybody's email is accessible, or just send a message via the communication inbox in Canvas. Talk to one another to set up Skype, whatever it is, or even set up in-person meetings at different locations. Again, with the 6 feet of social distancing, right? But again, do not try or attempt this course on your own. I know I would not have I'm giving you the advice I took. I went informed study groups when I was in undergrad, and they're still my best friends 26 years later. Again, we don't live in the same states, but we still talk to each other. So again, you never know, that study partner that you form may become a lifelong friend. So, you know, be social. Don't be like a wallflower. Be like a social butterfly. All right. Yeah. Public speaking. Yeah. Especially if you're going to be a doctor and physician, you got to talk to family. You got to talk to nurses. You got to talk to other doctors. You got to stand up and do Scut Monkey and morning rounds in the morning. Scut Monkey, like where we present cases at like 7 o'clock in the morning in a hospital auditorium with 200 people looking at you. Right. Get ready for that. If you're going to be a physician and you don't have any social skills, you better start practicing right now. Okay. Because you have to be a social person. Okay. Because you're going to be dealing with people. Duh. Right. All right. Any other questions before I let you go? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure meeting you. If anybody wants to jump in on the Zoom office hours tomorrow, again, 10 to 11, and look for the announcements for the videos. Any questions, email me, inbox me, messages on Canvas, whatever it is. Stay in touch. Good luck to all of you, okay? Stay safe, stay healthy, study biology. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.